Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. And it's a Monday, so it's time for relationships. Now, by the time we hear the opening chords to the famous bridal chorus, Here Comes the Bride, we have not been privy to any behind-the-scenes drama or chaos leading up to the moment that can define the rest of a couple's lives. Now, getting to grips with marriage readiness and wedding jitters is quite a normal experience, but it is important to identify why we are feeling nervous before the big day so we can deal with any issues that may arise later on. So today we're asking the question, how do you deal with the case of wedding jitters? How do you know when it's best to call off an engagement or a wedding? This morning, we're joined by celebrity psychologist and CEO of Hidden Dimensions, Charissa Bloomberg, to help us discuss this hot topic. And we'd love to hear your questions and comments as well. So you can head over to our Facebook page, drop a comment on the post, and we will be sure to engage with you live. Charissa, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you here. Listen, wedding jitters is a real thing.
Yes.
It is a real thing. I've seen in times where, it's not been hectic. I've seen other times where it has been. But how do you know when your case of wedding jitters is a time to, basically just cancel everything?
Yeah. So here's the thing, Leanne.
Yeah.
So firstly, there's wedding jitters and then relationship jitters. So we need to clarify. There's a difference.
Okay.
And it's normal to have some wedding jitters.
Yeah.
You're arranging this huge event. There's people coming, there's in-laws, there's flowers, there's a spotlight on you. It's huge.
Yeah.
And there could be some politics going on. And of course, there's going to be concerns. You're committing to someone for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
But that is completely separate to the relationship side of it.
Yeah. What are some of the symptoms that one can get, when it comes to these pre-wedding jitters and relationship jitters, as you say?
Yes. So there's butterflies in the tummy.
Yeah.
There's maybe a bit of insomnia. You're not sleeping so nicely. You're not eating so well. There's tension up here.
Yeah.
There's almost physical symptoms that have manifested because there's stress. And then there's some repetitive thoughts. I wonder if, what am I going to do if, what happens if I, all that goes round and round in the head.
Yeah.
Obviously. So
why is it so important for us to pay attention to what we're feeling, or just maybe, dismiss it as a case of having cold feet?
Okay. Because anything, it's a gut feel. It's coming from the heart, and it's telling us, it's warning us, something's going on, you must listen. There's like a little sign. It's our intuition saying something's not right. So we need to pay attention. Yeah. But then again, I want to say, clarify. Is it huge worries about the relationship going forward? Yeah. And that's also normal. Will the person commit? What will happen in the future? Are we going to have children? Where are we going to stay? How are we going to raise our children? Yeah. All of that should be discussed before. Yes. But sometimes, because of the stress, boom, it all comes and hits you at the same time, and all these worries. That's why it's so crucial to think it through carefully and distinguish. What am I worried about? What I can let go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a big decision. It's a big decision, so I can understand that there would certainly be some jitters attached to it. But how do you deal with a case of wedding jitters? How do you know when it's best to call off an engagement or a wedding, or even if you should at all? We would love to hear your questions and your comments for celebrity psychologist Charissa Bloomberg. As we head over to our Facebook page, you can also drop a comment on the post, and we will certainly engage with you after this.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Wow, I've never seen them go on like that about any other thing in the kitchen. Looks delicious, guys. Well, it is Monday. We're talking about relationships. Our celebrity psychologist, Charissa Bloomberg, is here. We're talking about pre-wedding jitters. Have you ever had any? Are you currently experiencing them right now? You might want to go to our Facebook page. We've got a post there. You can let us know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and we will be sure to interact with you. We've also got Chadwin Aronso, who is the soundie on Expresso, as well as studio manager for Afternoon Express. Chadwin in the house, looking good. All right, so we're talking about wedding jitters. Before we get to you, Chadwin, because you are getting married very soon. Yes. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I want to know from you, Charissa, what are the leading causes of pre-wedding jitters?
Okay, so Leanne, we seem to model our future relationships and our wedding on our parents.
Yes.
And you know, there's so many people that come from broken homes, or
Yeah.
like my mom's divorced,
Yeah.
you know, and issues around that. And so we're worried, is our marriage going to look like our parents? But it doesn't need to, because we make choices. So I think that's huge. That's
yeah.
huge. And the commitment issue with so many people being unfaithful, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
And also we've got to think that past behavior predicts future behavior. So we may have some concerns around our partner from the past, but the thing is, we hope we're not going to think that they're going to change them, because they're not. So I
Exactly.
think all the issues that we start processing around our relationships.
Yeah. I think also things like finances would probably, you know, are we going to be okay in the future, especially when children come? Like, you could think so far ahead that now in the moment, it could
Yes.
make you very, very anxious.
Yes, and all that should be discussed beforehand, you know,
Yeah.
the finances, where you're going to live.
I want to
children.
talk about, what if one partner is experiencing jitters and not the other? Do you bring that up without being afraid that you're going to unsettle them, or maybe make them think that you're getting cold feet?
Yes, absolutely, because you should be able to talk to your partner about anything, and it's all about communication. And it lessens their anxiety if you actually talk about it, and your partner can console you. And maybe it's just silly little things that they're saying, you know, not to worry about. So it's crucial.
Chadwin, in your case, you're getting married very, very soon. Have you experienced any wedding anxiety, any pre-wedding jitters?
Not really, but in certain forms, yes.
Yeah.
Like you said, with finances and things, that is a worrying case. But I think it all boils down to the type of relationship, like Charissa said, that you have with your partner. If it's an open and understanding one, then you can come forward and say, look, I'm dubious on things, let's iron it out.
Yeah. Like you said, you are approaching, you know, walking down that aisle. Tony is going to be absolutely amazing on the day. From your point of view, what have been some of the biggest challenges that you would think? Like you said, you're pretty fine right now. For anybody else, the kind of things that might, you know, give them jittery feet. Finances, I think, would be a big one.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then probably family,
Oh yeah.
family
That's
institutions.
That's a true one, hey?
But I mean, marriage is all about unity, so
Yes.
if everyone comes together,
Yeah.
then everything will be fine.
Ooh, Chadwin, you've touched on something right there. I would love to talk about being jittery because of the family you're moving into, or kind of marrying into, because you don't marry the person, you marry the family.
The whole extended family.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that after this.
It's my feel good breakfast show.
And you're back with your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. It's a Monday, so we're talking relationships. And today, of course, celebrity psychologist Charissa Bloomberg is here with us today. She's on the hot seat, and we're discussing how best to deal with wedding jitters and marriage readiness. And we're also joined by our colleague right here on Expresso, and also he's on Afternoon Express, Chadwin Orense, who's getting married very soon. I don't know about y'all. I don't know who's gotten an invitation. Maybe mine's still in the post. Yeah, probably still in the post. We touched on family and how that can create great anxiety and wedding jitters. Naturally, you're not marrying the person, you're marrying into the family. How much does not having a great relationship with your in-laws or your partner's family add to those pre-wedding jitters?
It's huge, okay, and especially if those in-laws are interfering and say they want it done in a certain way. And then they place the poor person in the middle, and then say it's the man, and like he's got to listen to his mom, and then he's got to listen to his new wifey, and where does he stand in it? So, yeah, it really, really interferes, and you can't please all of them all of the time. And it can actually break up couples.
Yeah.
Really.
But you've got a good relationship with the
Yes, I
in-laws,
do.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
I feel like you've just got everything
Luckily,
sorted. Hey, that's wonderful. That's so great. I suppose in a situation where the in-laws are not necessarily gelling, and you having, you know, issues with your own feelings of wedding jitters, would counseling in a situation be really, really good for a couple to iron out all of these things before they commit to one another for the rest of their lives?
Absolutely, I highly
There's
recommend
nothing wrong with
it.
that, because I think a lot of people are like,
Yes.
oh, there's problems. I think it's actually fantastic.
No, it's so crucial. And if it's not counselling, if one can't afford to go to a counsellor, Then someone in the church, a rabbi, someone an elderly, someone, or even other couples that have newly got married.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to them.
Yeah.
Because there comes a time where you have to talk about your expectations,
Yeah.
your hopes, your dreams, and have some deal breakers.
Yeah.
Should you ever have an affair, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Are we going to go to bed at night? You know, we're never going to argue. We're going to say, I love you. All those things can be discussed. Because you can't just go with the flow and you get there and then, oh, we'll deal with it then. But then it turns a little mountain into a molehill, and that's not going to work.
And also thinking that someone will change after you get married, you know, where often that's not the case. So it's really, really important to talk about things, because after you get married, don't expect change. It's like, you married me knowing that I was this person, so I'm going to stay this person.
And hopefully, because he goes on Friday night, now he's married, he won't be going with the guys on a Friday night or whatever it is.
He best know he's not going out with the guys on
you know,
Friday
and you think now, as the partner, you're going to lay down certain rules and regulations, but it doesn't work like that. Can you accept the person, and you've got to visualize to the future, can you accept the person as they are now, walking down, and if they stay exactly the same down the line, then that's good. But if you're thinking you're going to change them, it's going to happen. We must think of the 3 C's. I love my C's. Commitment, conflict management, caring, communication.
Communication is so important, right, Chadwin?
It's vital.
Yeah.
Absolutely vital.
Wonderful. I feel like Chadwin is so calm.
I was
He's
just
got
gonna
everything
say
sorted out. He is ready to make this girl a wife.
Lucky lady.
Wonderful. Lucky lady, indeed. Thank you so much, Charissa. Thank you so much, Chadwin, for joining us. Of course, the best thing to do is to open the lines of communication with your fiancé. Beginning the conversation may not remove all of the jitters, but solutions and paths forward will definitely emerge. So working together will allow you to choose your partner with confidence, plan your wedding with excitement and joy, and have the marriage you want and need. What an awesome relationship segment. We'll be right back after this.